start with our class. Okay, we are waiting for just a minute. Chale. Till then, tell me if you have any doubt in any part of the start with our class. So we are doing PPB Module B. Till yesterday we completed Unit 33. Now we'll be continuing with Unit 34 and we'll try to complete till Unit 44. Let's start with our first unit, that is functions, law relating to bill finance. If anybody has any doubt till in any part of the PPB, please let me know in the chat section. So the first topic we have is law relating to bill financing. We talked about bill financing, right? We talked about bill financing. What is bill financing? When bank discounts a bill, when a seller gets a bill of exchange from a buyer and the seller needs the money before the maturity of that bill of exchange, they can go to the bank and get that bill financed. They can get a loan against it, or they can they get it discounted. The bank earns from it. It is a source of earning for bank, and the bank can refinance it if they need to. Now, for question number one, what is a bill of exchange? When a person asks somebody else, orders somebody else to make a payment to the third party, to the payee. Question number one is on the screen. Question number one is on the screen. Which of the following statements are correct regarding bill of exchange under the NI Act? The drawer is the person who makes bill and is typically the seller or the creditor. Yes, no. Drawer is not the person who makes the bill. Okay? See, एक minute. Drawer, drawee, pay. Okay? Drawer is a person who makes a bill. Yes, he is. And is typically the seller or the creditor. See, the drawer is a person who creates the bill, and he is typically a seller who instructs the drawee to make the payment. Statement number one is correct. As per section 32, as per section 32, the drawer is bound to pay the amount at maturity according to the apparent tenor of the bill. No. The section 32 deals with the liability of the drawee, not the drawer. Section 32 talks about the liability of the drawee. What a drawee does. The drawee's liability in the case of dishonor is talked about in section 32. Statement number 2 is incorrect. Holden in due course is a person who obtains the bill for consideration and is entitled to receive payment. Yes, holder in due course is usually the bank. Holder in due course means the person who has paid for the bill. So statement number 3 is correct. Statement number 3 is correct. That will give us 1 and 3 as C as the correct answer. C is the correct answer. Next, we identify the following statements regarding various types of bills under the Negotiable Instrument Act. What is an inland bill? Inland bill means the bill which is made in India to a person who is living in India or a person who is a resident of India. Okay. Basic rule is that it is drawn in India. The basic rule is that it is drawn in India. Inland bill must be either drawn in India or payable in India, or drawn in India upon a person resident of India. Yes, statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2. A foreign bill means must always be payable in the foreign country and drawn in a person outside India. Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is not correct. Foreign bill can be payable in India. It is a bill which is drawn outside India. It is a bill which is drawn outside India. Statement number 2 is incorrect. The demand bill is payable on presentation and no time for payment is mentioned in it. Yes, we demand it and you can get the payment. A clean bill is a bill of exchange that is not accompanied by any document or title of goods. Yes, a clean bill is not accompanied with any title of good. Documentary bill always requires that the documents of the title are delivered only after payment is made. Incorrect. Not all documentary bill require delivery of documents. only against payment. It is there are also documents of acceptance, delivery on acceptance, delivery against acceptance, where documents are not needed, where documents are handed upon the acceptance, not payment. So statement number 5 is incorrect. 2 and 5 are incorrect. 1, 3, 4 are correct. B is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following statements correctly reflect the legal position of a banker in a bill finance transaction? In bill discounting, the banker becomes the bill holder in due course and is entitled to recover the amount from the acceptor. Is he? Yes, he is. It is the bank who pays the seller before the maturity happens. The banker who discounts the documentary bill accompanied by documents of title becomes legal owner of the goods. Yes. In a bill discounted by bank is dishonored. If a bill is dishonored, the bank cannot recover the amount from its customer. It can. There is no hardcore rule that you will first sue the buyer and then the seller. You can sue the seller as well. You can recover the amount from your own customer. Statement number 3 is incorrect. Statement number 4 and statement number 5 are correct. That will give us A as the correct answer. A is the correct answer. Next question. What is this? Okay, next question. Identify which of the following statements are correct as per the provisions of NIR related to bill. A person who signs a bill to transfer it is said to have endorsed it. A person who signs it, endorsement is signing a bill for the transferring. This is given under section 15. Endorsement is signing to transfer a bill. Next, holder in due course is entitled to receive the amount without consideration. No, holder in due course is entitled to receive the amount if he has paid due consideration. The drawer is liable to compensate the holder if the bill is dishonored provided due notice is given. This is correct. Drawer is liable on dishonor with notice. Next, if no interest rate is mentioned in the bill, it is payable at 18% per annum. Correct. It is given under section 80 that the percentile is 80% per annum. Next, negotiation of a bill requires transfer without consideration. No, negotiation must be for consideration only. This statement is incorrect. The acceptor is bound to pay the bill amount at maturity according to the apparent tenure. Yes, this is correct. Statement number 2 and 5 are correct. That will make A as the correct answer. A is the correct answer. Next question. Read the following statements related to various types of bill finance and identify the correct combination of true and false statement. What all are true and what all are false? Statement number 1. Bill purchase involves immediate payment of the face value of the bill to the holder by the bank. True. Bill purchase means that you have made the payment of the face value. You have bought the bill. The bill discount is applicable to demand bills and not to usance bill. Bill discounting is applicable to both demand bill and usance bill, not just demand bill. Bill discounting is applicable to usance bill, not demand bill. This is opposite. Statement number 2 is incorrect. Under advance against bill for collection, the bank requires a margin to be kept by the customer. This is incorrect. This is incorrect. Why? See, advance against bill for collection requires the bank to keep a margin, not the customer to keep a margin. Next, bill purchase is applicable for both clean and documentary bill. Correct? Correct. On bill discounting, the bank pays the full value and bill without any deduction. Incorrect. Bill discounting means we are giving a less amount, which is written, we are giving a lesser amount. Bill purchase can be used for bill where the due date is not immediately known, such as usance bill. Correct? So statement number 2, 3 and 5 are incorrect. 2, 3, 5 are incorrect. 2, 3, 5 are incorrect and 1, 4, 6 are correct. A is the correct answer. A is the correct answer. Next question. Read the statement and identify the correct ones. Identify which of the following is correct. Please read the question and give me the answer. Read the question and give me the answer. Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is not correct. A banker can recover the amount from the drawee if the bill is dishonored. Statement number 3 is also incorrect. The court held that the bank can be a holder in due course and could recover the amount from the panchayat. In this case, it was held that the amount can be recovered from the panchayat. This statement is incorrect. This statement is incorrect. Everything except these are correct. That will give us, we have to tell which one are incorrect. Which one are incorrect? 1, 4, 5, 6. Let's see why 6 is incorrect. Let's see, 6 is incorrect. No, 6 is actually correct. In the case of Morbi Mercantile Union, the court ruled that the bank was entitled to receive the value of goods based on the endorsed railway receipt. Yes. Yes. Statement number 6 is also correct. Statement number 6 is also correct. That will give us D as a correct answer. Let's make a correction here. D is the correct answer. In this case, the same thing was held. The bank was entitled to recover the value from the railway as it is endorsee of the railway receipt. Next question. Okay, next. We have personal finances. In this, we have talked about home loans, the credit card, what are the timelines for the credit card, and the loan against your salary. The personal loans, okay, and the consumer loans. So, the first question that we have is, first question is on the screen. The relaxation in the LTV ratio by including stamp duty and other charges is available for houses costing up to 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs. RBI provides a specific relaxation to encourage affordable housing by allowing banks to include additional charges in LTV calculation only when the cost of the house does not exceed 10 lakhs. Which of the following statements regarding housing loans eligibility and documentation are correct? What all are correct? Statement number 1. The banks must maintain an affidavit undertaking from the borrower that the house will be constructed as per the sanctioned plan. Yes. The housing loan can be extended for purchase of house intended to be used entirely for commercial purpose. No. House loan cannot be taken for commercial purposes. Next, the architect appointed by the bank must certify that the various construction stages that the building complies with the sanction plan. Correct. 1 and 3 are correct. C is the correct answer. C is the correct answer. Next question. Who holds the unlimited liability for deciding whether to issue a credit card? It is the bank or the NBFCs. They are the persons who are selling, they are the persons who are issuing the cards. C. Next, which of the following statements are correct regarding grievance redressal and fraud control mechanism for credit card users? Now, read this question, please. Read the question given on the screen. Statement number 1 is incorrect. You can reach out to the ombudsman in 30 days. The moment 1 gets incorrect, we eliminate B and C. 2 is correct. 4 is correct. Let's see 3. If two-factor authentication is not applied in the fraudulent C and B transaction, the bank must reimburse the customer without dispute. Yes, the bank must. The bank must. Statement number 3 is correct. 2 is correct. Tokenization replaced actual card details with unique token. Yes, it did. For lost cards, the bank must first obtain an FIR before blocking the card. No, we first block the card. First we block the card, and FIR is just a formality which we actually follow afterwards. Statement number 5 is incorrect. 2, 3, 4 are correct. A is the correct answer. Very good, Sushilji. Next question. What is the typical repayment period allowed by the bank for personal loans? Personal loan repayment period is 36 to 60 months. Which of the following statements are correct with respect to the dispersal of housing loan and foreclosure charges? The RBI permits banks to charge foreclosure penalties on floating rates home loans if the loan is under the innovative scheme like 80:20. It is for 75:25, not 80:20. Statement number 2 is incorrect. RBI prohibits charging for foreclosure or prepayment. regardless the scheme, including 75:25. They are not permitted, they are prohibited. Dispersal of home loans, this is correct, that will give us B as the correct answer. B is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following statements are correct regarding the credit card? What are correct regarding the credit card? Statement number 4 is incorrect. That will give us D as the correct answer. Statement number 2 is also incorrect. The credit card issuers are institutions that process credit card transactions for merchants. Credit card issuers are banks and NBFCs. They are the card issuers. They do not process the transactions. D is the correct answer. Next, consider the following statements regarding RBI master directions on credit card operations. The RRBs are excluded from issuing the credit cards. Statement number 1 is incorrect. NBFCs registered with RBI can undertake credit card business only with the prior approval. Yes. Statement number 3 is also correct. Statement number 4 is also correct. Statement number 5. Credit card terms and conditions need to be provided in only English. We can give it in English, Hindi, or any local language. Statement number 5 is incorrect. Card issuer must ensure transparency in EMI conversion by disclosing principal interest and any other discount. Yes. Credit information relating to new cards account can be reported to credit information company even before card activation. No credit information before card activation. Card, if after getting activated, we inform. Statement number 7, 5 and 1 are incorrect. That will give us D as the correct answer. Next question. APR means annualized percentage rate. This must be disclosed along with illustrative examples. Okay. The bank can charge interest rates on credit card without disclosing APR. We have to disclose APR to the customers. Statement number 3 is incorrect. Wherever 3 is mentioned, let's eliminate that. Statement number 1 and 2 are correct. Statement number 3 is incorrect. Statement number 4 is correct. Statement number 5 is again incorrect. Banks can levy charges that were not previously disclosed. We can not charge hidden things. There should be no hidden charge. Wherever 5 is written, let's eliminate that. That will give us A as the correct answer. A is the correct answer. Next, which of the following are correct regarding retail home loans? The tenure for a home loan can be 30 years, but not beyond the retirement age or 70 years, whichever is early. Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is also correct. Statement number 3 is not correct. Repayment schedule is customized. Based on the income we customize. There is no standard, there is no uniform rules. Statement number 3 is incorrect. Statement number 4 is correct. Statement number 5 is also correct. Statement number 6 is not correct. Fixed interest rates may have a reset clause. Depending upon the agreement, depending upon the situation, they may have a reset clause. Statement number 6 is incorrect. Statement number 7 is also incorrect. Statement number 7 is correct. Banks must ensure transparency. That will give us 1, 2, 4, 5 and 7. C as the correct answer. C is the correct answer. Next, which of the following statements are accurate regarding the documents and process involved in the home loan application? There should be no encumbrance for 13 years, not 5 years. The moment statement number 1 got incorrect, we eliminate A and D. A bank panel engineer's valuation report is one of the necessary documents required for loan processing. Yes. The self-employed person must submit at least 12 months of bank statement as a proof for to be eligible. See, it is not 12 months. The RTI of or ITR of 3 years. ITR of 3 years. Statement number 3 is also incorrect. No, so 3 is actually not mentioned anywhere. Some banks require a life insurance policy on the borrower to cover the loan amount. This is correct. This is correct. Statement number 4 is correct. NACH authorization is not required for requiring EMI payment, ensuring timely EMI payment. This is incorrect. NACH authorization is mandatory for ensuring timely EMI repayment. It is mandatory. Okay? It is required actually. So statement number 2, 1, 2 and 4 are correct. That will give us, okay, wait. Statement number 1 is incorrect. Sorry. Statement number 1 is incorrect. Statement number 2 is correct. Statement number 3 is incorrect. Statement number 5 is correct. That will give us 2 and 4. That is C is the correct answer. C is the correct answer. Next, we have priority sector advances. What all are priority sectors? Priority sectors mean there is agriculture, there is MSMEs, renewable energy, social infrastructure, housing, education. Okay, these are the priority sectors which are with the bank, of which there is a percentile of the A and B C's, which a bank need to maintain. That is, we give loan to the grassroots level people who are at the weaker section of the society. We focus on them so that we can develop. Yes, Sushilji, very good. So that they can develop, so that there is growth at the whole of the country. At the large level there is growth. So there are priority sectors, and these priority sectors need to be maintained. These loans have to be maintained. So yeah, this is the updated priority sector lending list. This is the updated priority sector lending list. The education loan has changed from 20% to 25%. Renewable energy from 20 lakhs to 35 lakhs. Sorry. Okay. There are changes. Please go through this. The total. See, if you are a SCB, or you are a foreign bank with more than 20% of the branches, or less than 20% of the branches, whatever it is, you need to maintain a 40% of the A and B C, out of which 18% is for agriculture, and out of these 18%, 10% for the marginal small and marginal farmers. What is the revised individual loan limit as per PSL for education? What is the revised limit? It is 25 lakhs. Very good. 25 lakhs. Next, consider the following statements regarding the evolution of PSL. The Gadgil committee recommended the area approach, which led to the creation of the LBS. Did the Gadgil committee did this? Yes, it did. It happened. This Gadgil committee introduced this in 1969. Next, the Krishna Swamy committee suggested raising PSL target to 33.33. No, this committee recommended to raise the target to 40%. This target was raised to 40%. 33.33 was initially there. From 33.33 we changed to 40% in 1985. Okay, this got recommended in 1980, but what got applicable from 1985. Statement number 2 is incorrect. The Usha Throat Committee supported the continuation of the lead bank scheme for its contribution to PSL growth. Yes, 1 and 3 are correct. That will give us C as the correct answer. नहीं सुशील जी, just because name लिखा है इसका मतलब वो correct नहीं है. Under the PSL guideline, what is the new limit for renewable energy? It is 35 crore. The priority sector lending started in 1970. Okay. After the Gadgil Committee report, the 1970, we started PSL. Then the changes got made in 1979. The percentile was changed from, it was actually initially around 25 to 30%, then changed to 33.33, and eventually it is 40%. Next question. Consider the following statements regarding bank investment in securitized assets under PSL norms. Very good, Amalji. Statement number 1 is correct. Only securitized assets originated by banks and financial institutions which comply with the guidelines on securitization are eligible for PSL classification. Statement number 2 is not correct. Investment in securitized assets originated by MFIs are exempted from the general interest caps. They are exempted. MFIs follow their own prescribed cap. They follow the NBFC prescribed cap. Statement number 2 is incorrect. Statement number 3 is correct. 1 and 3 are correct. B is the correct answer. What is the revised PSL limit for urban cooperative banks? It is 75 से 60 हो गया, right? It is 60%. Next, consider the following statements regarding the revised priority sector lending. Loan for individual households for renewable energy project is capped at 10 lakh rupees. Yes, it is capped at 10 lakh rupees. Next, the loan limit for housing sectors have been reduced to control urban expansion. And no, we do not want that. We want infrastructure to get better. Transgenders are now included under the weaker section category. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Next, consider the following statements regarding the evolution and applicability of PSL in India. The formalization of the PSL in 1972 was based on the recommendation of an informal study group constituted in 1971. It was constituted in in 1969, the first committee said that in 1969, the PSL concept came. Okay. In 1970, RBI accepted it. And for this, they made a special group in 1971, new group, special group for this. Special group made. And in 1972, PSL got applicable. Okay, this is the flow chart. In 1980, PSL required commercial banks to allocate 40%. Actually, it got recommended in 1980, but got formalized in 1985. Got recommended in 1980, but was applicable from 1985. Sub-targets for weaker sections in agriculture were introduced in the part of 1980 directives. Yes, they were 1980 में directives आए थे, and they got applicable from 1985. So statement number 2, 3 is correct. Statement number 4 is incorrect. The revised master directives of PSL September 2022 applies uniformly to all banks, including salary earners. No, it does not include to salary earners. Urban cooperative banks, except salary earners, are included under the scope of 2020. Yes, it is. 1, 3 and 5 are correct. That will give us A as the correct answer. A is the correct answer. Next, consider the following statements regarding PSL norms. Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is incorrect. It is not 75%, it is 40%. Statement number 3 is correct. RRBs must meet 75% as PSL. Statement number 4 is correct. 18% agriculture mein, out of which 10% to small and marginal. Statement number 5 is correct. MSME, the target is 7.5%. And RRBs with a sub target of 15% is for weaker section. Yes, it is. So statement number 2 is incorrect. Others are correct. That will give us B as the correct answer. B is the correct answer. Next. Which of the following statement regarding the agriculture category under the PSL are correct? 1 is correct. 2 is not. It is 100 crore. 3 is correct. That will give us B as the correct answer. Next question. Last question. Statement number 1 is true. Statement number 2 is true. Statement number 3 is not true. Housing loan does not include loan for schools. It is for homes. Statement number 4 is correct. Statement number 5 is also correct. Statement number 6 is not correct. Startups under the others category can be engaged in activities other than agriculture or MSME. Agriculture and MSME का तो हमने already provision बना रखा है ना. We have already made the provisions for them. Statement number 6 is incorrect. That will give us 1, 2, 4, 5 and 7 as correct. Answer will be D. D is the correct answer. Next question. Okay. Now we have agriculture financing. Here we have talked about the Kisan credit card. What are the limits of Kisan credit card? What is the short-term loan, medium-term loan, and can the Kisan get loans for working capital as well as term loan? Yes. There is a 5-year working capital. How to determine the Kisan credit limit for the Kisan credit card? Okay. So whatever working loan we are asking for, plus 10% for the daily consumption and 20% for the developments. That is the law. There is a flow chart that we have studied in the morning class, right? We have studied that in the morning class. There is the percentile that is increasing. We have to follow that. There is a waterfall mechanism to calculate a 5 years loan. And if we remember that, that will be helpful for you all. You have the PDF uploaded. You can check that out. If you need me to put the waterfall chart here, I can. If you want me to explain that waterfall chart again, I can. If you need anything from me regarding that waterfall chart, let me know in the chat section, because that waterfall chart is very important for you. There is a waterfall chart ki how the limit for credit card, Kisan credit card limit is decided. First question is on the screen. Statement number 3 is not correct. Crops loan are generated only to land owning agriculturists, and loan amount is calculated based on the land, not the cultivation. Crop loans are not restricted to land owning farmers. Even tenants can take the crop loans. And the loan amount is not just based on the land value. It is based upon the cultivation per scale of finance, cultivation per acre. We talked about this in the morning class. Statement number 1 and 2 are correct. A is the correct answer. Now, this is a calculation question. I need you to try and attempt this question. If you're not able to, then I'll explain. Obviously, I will explain. Okay? This talks about a small farmer owns 3 acres of land and engages in multiple crop cultivation along with the investment in yield activities for specific years. The farmer approaches the bank to determine the maximum permissible limit for the KCC. The bank official gathers the following details. He talks about the landholding. It is 3 acres. Crops क्या क्या इसके पास? Wheat in 2 acres for 14,000 rupees per acre, and cotton in 1 acre, that is 18,000 rupees per acre. Okay, these are his investments. So, investment aided activities in second year, set up a 2 plus 1 GOT unit. Cost per animal is 6,000. 2 plus 1. That is, you need 18,000. Fourth year में purchase of tractor trailer, that is costing 45,000. What will be the maximum permitted allowed amount? Okay. So first year we will calculate how. First year में It is 14,000 into 2. Let me add a slide here. Okay, let me add a slide here. Let's attempt this question. चले attempt करें. चलो. The first year में चल पहले see the question. पहले question पढ़ते हैं फिर attempt करेंगे. First year में it is 2 acres of 14,000 and 1 acre of 15,000. Cost of cultivation will be 14,000 into 2 and 18,000 into 1. That will give us, let's see, cost of cultivation. Let's see cost of cultivation. First year. Cost of cultivation. 14,000 into 2 plus 18,000 of cotton into 1. That will give us 28,000 plus 18,000, which is equals to 46,000. This will be equal to 46,000, right? We add 10%. We know first year rule is cost of cultivation plus 10% consumption and 20% maintenance. तो cost of cultivation तुम्हारा आ गया 46,000 rupees. 10% of consumption will be into 10 upon 100. 10% consumption will be 46,000 into 10 upon 100, which will give us 4,600 rupees. And 20% for maintenance is equals to 46,000 into 20 upon 100. That will give us 92,000. That will give us 9,200. That will give us 9,200. अब इनको हम ऐड करेंगे तो it will be first year. It will be 46,000 plus 4,600 plus 9,200. Any doubt till now? This will be equal to 59800. I hope the calculations that I have done are correct. Okay. Any doubt to anybody? Do you have any doubt in calculating the first year? Do you have any doubt in calculating the first year? ठीक है. Second year and in third year we increase by 10%. We talked about this, right? Second year. क्वेश्चन में बात चले. ठीक है. Second year में the set up of 2 plus 1 goat unit is needed. Second year में we need 2 plus 1 goat unit. And fourth year में there is a tractor trailer of 45,000 rupees. इसे बाद में देखेंगे. We'll see it afterwards. Let's calculate second year, third year, fourth year and fifth year. Second year, third year, fourth year and fifth year rule is second year में first year plus 10%. Third year में it will be second year plus 10%. And fourth year में it will be third year plus 10%. Fifth year में भी it will be fourth year plus 10%. What is this 10%? 10% is of the previous cost escalation हो रही है 10% पे. 10% of cost escalation. This is 10% of cost escalation. This is again 10% of the cost escalation. Cost escalation. Fifth year तक हम ऐसे कैलकुलेट करेंगे. So the first year we got is 59,800. 59,800 plus 10%, that will be equal to 59,800 into 10 upon 100, that will give us 59,800. 59,800 plus 5,980 rupees will be equal to, this will be equal to, this will be equal to, calculate करके कौन बताएगा, will tell me, this will be equal to 65,780. This will be 65. सुशील जी, you are writing no. No समझ नहीं आया या no doubt. In second year it is 65,780 plus 6578, क्योंकि हर बार 10% जीरो हटा रहा ना मैं एंड में से, that will give us what? That will give us 725 नहीं ऐसा होगा, 728 आया लास्ट में ना, 8 5 plus 30, 7358 72358. Fourth year में it will be 72358 plus 10% कितना होगा इसका, it will be 7, अब इसे हम राउंड ऑफ कर देंगे, फिर राउंड इट ऑफ, we can call it 72360. if we round this off, let's do it as round it off, right? Let's round this off क्योंकि 58 पे calculations will be impossible for you. 7236. Now this will be 6 at the end. 9 5 2 7 7. Okay, not 7. 9. 79,556. I think I did some mistake. Nine, 5, 7956. 79596. अब ये 79596 को हम लोग कंसिडर करेंगे 795 600 भी कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं, 600 कर सकते हैं, 596 को हम 600 कह सकते हैं, राइट? सो इट विल बी 79600 plus 7960. That will give us what? That will give us 0 6 9 and 6 is 5, 1 ऊपर गया 10 17, 1 ऊपर गया 8 87560. 87560. Are the calculations clear to every single one of you? Are the calculations clear to every single one of you? ये तो एक्चुअल होना चाहिए. दिस इज द टोटल अमाउंट 5 years आफ्टर as per the calculations. ठीक है. अब हम we do not given this such amount, we round it off क्योंकि 5 units से ऊपर है. round off will be is equals to 87,600 का लोन we can give. 87,600, sorry, not 600. Okay, let's not round it off to this. Let's round it off to the next possible number digit. That will be 88,000. That will be 88,000. क्योंकि 5 units से ऊपर amount, we'll consider it as 88,000. 88,000 rupees. 88,000 rupees. Till now, anybody has any doubt? ये तो हमने total crop loan ले लिया है. This is total crop loan. Total crop loan for 5 years. As after calculating 5 years. I hope this is perfectly clear to every single one of you. ठीक है. अब second year में he bought 3 animals. In second year 2 plus 1 goat, GOAT, at 6,000 each, that will be 18,000. And fourth year May is equals to 45,000 ka tractor. He got a tractor and goats. They are the term loans. वो तो working capital loan था. These are term loan. These are what? These are term loan. So 18,000 plus 45,000 is equals to term loan. Term loan is equals to 63,000 rupees. Will be equal to 63,000 rupees. So maximum limit for KCC is equals to working capital plus term loan. This is total crop loan. Total crop loan will be working capital. Working capital was 88,000 plus 63,000. 88,000 plus 63,000. This will give us what amount? 1,51,000 rupees. 1,51,000 rupees. So the answer here will be B. Now you'll be thinking, क्या इतनी calculations करनी पड़ेंगी? Yes. 2 mark question. Is this clear to every single one of you? Is this clear to every single one of you? Hello. I need a reply. Are the calculations clear to everyone? This is a waterfall mechanism which I have taught you. हमने एक chart पढ़ा था. We did a chart in the morning. We did a chart when we were studying the topics. Is this clear to everyone? Moving forward. This is the calculation they have done themselves as well. This is a written calculation. But I hope this is more clear. If it is not, you can see this as well. Consider the following statements regarding the RBI revised guidelines on collateral-free agriculture loan. Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is also correct. Statement number 3 is incorrect. The revised collateral-free limit is not limited to the loan under the modified scheme. It is not. The 2 lakh collateral provision applies more broadly and independently. It is wrong. Statement number 3 is wrong. See, this is the explanation. Please read the explanation. The 2 lakh collateral-free provision applies more broadly. Next question. Which of the following statements regarding KCC facility for animal husbandry are correct? Tenant farmers engaged in poultry farming without owning or leasing a shed are eligible for KCC. आपके पास जगह ही नहीं है. If you do not have the space, if you have not owned or rented out or leased it out, how can you ask for it? You have not asked for the property, you do not have the property, how can you do poultry farming? Statement number 2 is incorrect. Statement number 3 and 4 are correct. Statement number 5 is again incorrect. The account for this KCC must be maintained separately. The account issued for animal husbandry should be maintained separately. Statement number 1 is 5 is correct, incorrect. 1, 3, 4 are correct. A is the correct answer. A is the correct answer. Next question. Next question. Question number 5. Statement number 1 and 3 are correct, 2 is not. See, most documents, this is soil hai, water hai, or the quotas, a project report is only required for if it is a large project, not in all the cases. These records, जो ये लिखे ना, they are maintained in just large projects, not in all cases. C is the correct answer. Next. Question number 6 is on the screen. प्रधानमंत्री फसल बीमा योजना से रिलेटेड है ये. Statement number 1 is correct, 2 is correct, 3 is not correct. Post harvest losses for crops left in the cut and spread condition after 15 days is not allowed. We do not cover post harvest after 15 days, after 2 weeks. Statement number 3 is incorrect. Statement number 4 is correct. Statement number 5 is incorrect. Aadhaar is mandatory for this. Aadhaar is mandatory for Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. 3 and 5 are incorrect. That will give us B as the correct answer. Next question. Last question. Statement number 1 is correct, 2 is not correct. See, MPL is determined by both short-term loan limit and the long-term loan limit. We just did that. 5-year, if you plan karana, 5-year plus long-term. Statement number 3 is correct. Statement number 4 is correct. Statement number 5 is not correct. The scale finance is based on the type of the crop, the cultivation area, the cost, not what is the farmer's credit history is. Statement number 6 is correct. Statement number 7 is not. Tenant farmers are also eligible for KCC. That will give us a D as the correct answer. Now we have unit 38. I'm giving you a minute's break here. We'll resume the class after 1 minute. Here we have talked about the MFIs, the NBFCs basically. NBFCs are divided into 4 layers as per the RBI schedule. There is a base layer, there is medium layer, upper layer and top layer. Top layer is currently empty. In the upper layer there are just 10 NBFCs which are very high risk taking, and in medium layer there are NBFCs which are P2P or deposit taking. Other NBFCs which are not money taking and are at smaller level, who do not take much risk, are at the base level. There is a whole paradigm which you have to see, which you have to refer to, which have been provided to you by me in the notes. Next, there is also a co-lending process by the banks and NBFCs. What is co-lending? That is, a part of the loan is given by the banks and the part is by NBFCs. Minimum that NBFCs give is 20% when they are co-lending with the banks. Now what happens if losses happen? Whatever the share they have put in, whatever percentage the bank has put in and whatever the NBFCs have put in, the losses will be handled in the same percentile. Banks cannot put their losses in the NBFC's name. Whatever the losses may be. Suppose both gave 1 lakh rupees as a loan. 80,000 was given by bank and 20,000 was given by the customer. Suppose 50,000 came back but 50,000 did not came back. So the ratio was 2:8:2, that is 1:4:1. 4 part was given by bank and 1 part was given by the NBFC. 40,000 will be the loss of the bank and 10,000 will be loss of the NBFC. The percentile we give the loan in, the percentile the way is losses are handled. Okay, what are NBFCs? NBFCs are the organizations which helps the people take loan when the banks are not available, when the loan from the banks is not possible. Okay, question number 1. I'm going to take a break here. You read question number 1. Is the correct answer? Equipment leasing and hire purchase, agriculture underwritings are not allowed. Next, which of the following statements related to prudential norms for NBFCs are correct? Tier 1 plus Tier 2 should will help us assess the will help us assess the capital ratio. Okay? If it should be at least 15%. Tier 2 capital is not allowed to exceed the Tier 1 capital. Tier 2 capital cannot exceed. No. Statement number 1 is incorrect. Statement number 2 is correct. Statement number 3 is also correct. Statement number 4 is also correct. Statement number 5 is not correct. If an advance is guaranteed by CRGF-TLIH, no provisions is required, only for the guarantee portion. Any excess outstanding must be provisioned as per the norms. Otherwise, provisioning is fully exempted. Statement number 5 is also incorrect. That will give us A as the correct answer. A is the correct answer. Next question. Next question. It is 10 crore. Registration after 2022 is 10 CR. Next question. Sakshi Microfinance Limited is a non-deposit taking NBFC operational in rural areas of MP. As per its financial disclosure, over 78% of its total assets are deployed towards unsecured loans guaranteed to various low households for purposes such as education, medical emergencies, and petty trade. One such customer, Meena Devi, belongs to the household with annual income of 2.75 lakh rupees. She applies digitally for a loan of 50,000 rupees from Sakhi Microfinance, without providing any security. The company granted the loan and credited it indirectly to her account. However, to ensure timely repayment, it credited a lien of her savings account until the loan is fully paid. Additionally, Meena Devi was required to repay the loan in the fixed monthly installment with no flexibility offered in the terms of the repayment frequency. Based on the above case, which of the following are correct? Sakhi Microfinance Limited qualifies an NBFCs for more than 75% of the total assets deployed to the MFIs. Yes, it is, because 78% deployed NK. Statement number 1 is correct. The loan given to Meena Devi qualifies as a microfinance because the income is below 3 lakh rupees. Yes. And it will be collateral free. Yes. The loan created violates the RBI definition. Yes, it does. We cannot take collateral. Her loan amount income is less than 3 lakh rupees. No collateral needed. Next, fixing the repayment frequency without giving flexibility to the borrower is inconsistent with the RBI guidelines. See, NBFCs who are working in MFIs, that is microfinancing, they are helping the poor people. अब आप poor people के ऊपर how can you put a strong strict rules? They might be daily wage earners. How will they pay you? Okay, so there have to be flexible frequency of the repayment. Whatever is convenient. मतलब it is not कि convenient है तो कुछ भी कर लो. It is conveniency in the matter that whatever they are working for, they do not have to work extra hard for your repayment. So all the statements are correct. That will give us a D as the correct answer. Next question. No, Sushil, D is the correct answer. Next question. Statement number 5. Question number 5. B is the correct answer. Not more than 2 NBFCs MFI. Next. Which of the following statements relate to co-lending model? Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is correct. Statement number 3 is not correct. SFBs, RRBs, UCBs and LABs are excluded from participating in co-lending model. They are excluded. Statement number 3 is incorrect. Statement number 4 is correct. 5 is again incorrect. The bank's share of the loan must be booked with the full recourse of NBFC's case of default. We said that it is 50-50. Whatever the percentile we have put in, we'll have to face the losses similarly. That will give us 1, 2 and 4 as correct. A is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following are correct regarding NBFC MFI? Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is correct. Statement number 3 is not correct. NBFCs exclude institutions whose principal business is agricultural or industrial activities or real estate activities. Statement number 4 is correct. Statement number 5 is not correct. NBFCs have higher transaction cost? No. They have lower transaction cost. They are easy to give loans. Microfinance aim in providing small loans? Yes, they do. Statement number 1, 2, 4 and 6 are correct. That will give us a D as the correct answer. Next. Consider the following statement regarding banks finance to NBFC. Banks may extend term loans and working capital to registered NBFCs. Yes. Bank can finance second-hand assets. This is saying not eligible. Banks are eligible. Large exposure norms are applicable when bank finances to NBFCs. Yes. Statement number 3 is correct. 4. Banks may take their own credit decisions while financing exempting NBFCs. Yes. Mutual benefit companies and chit funds are exempted from registering with RBI. Yes, because they are registered with their own act, under their own act. So A is the correct answer. Every statement except 2 is incorrect. Sorry. Next we have is MSME. MSME, micro, small, medium enterprise. What are these? See, as I've told you that we are working at the grassroots level. We want the people who are not eligible, who do not have sufficient means to pay for their own life, to start up a business. So there are some costs. There are some organizations which need to get registered. See, if you want to get registered as an MSME, you need to get an Udyam registration done. And after that you can become an MSME and you will be under the criteria of MSME. You can even get loan from the banks as an MSME. Okay. Question number 1. So this is if you do not make the payment to the MSME, if the buyer does not make the payment to the MSME in 45 days, you can be imposed to pay 3 times the bank rate. There is a platform TREDS on which you can sell your bill of exchange. The sellers can sell their bill of exchange. There are the guidelines followed by this is the process followed by the TREDS. I've already explained this to you. You can go through this. Then there is PM Swanidhi. That is for street vendors. Street vendors can take a loan in 3 cycles. First cycle 10,000, second cycle 20,000, third cycle 50,000. First cycle means to start up a business. To start up a business, a 10,000 loan can be given to you. If you are good at repayment, if you have minimum made of 6 EMIs have been paid by you, you can take a second loan of 20,000. And if you have repaid, if you are good at repayment again, you can take a third loan of 50,000 rupees, of which the tenure is 36 months. That is, you have to return that loan back within 36 months. Question number 1. The framework for revival or rehabilitation of MSME applies to MSME units with loan limit up to 25 crores. Up to 25 crore. Next. Which of the following statements regarding budget of 25-26 are correct? What are correct? The revised classification of micro is 2.5 and the investment is 10 crore. Yes. The loan guarantee limit for micro and small enterprise can be doubled to 10 crore. Can it be doubled to 10 crore? Yes, it can be. Yes, it can be. Next, the startup can now avail guarantee cover up to 20 crores in 27 critical sectors, reduced fees 1%. Yes. The medium enterprises investment 125 crore and turnover 250 crore. No. The investment is 125 crore, but the turnover is 500 crore. Micro, small, medium. Investment, turnover, up to. Micro May it is 2.5, small May it is 25, medium May is 125, 10, 100, 500. The export-oriented MSMEs are eligible to term loan of 20 crores for enhanced guarantees. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 5 are correct. B is the correct answer. Next question. The public procurement policy of MSE mandates that all central ministries and PSU must target procurement at least 25% for MSME sector, MSE sector. C is the correct answer. Which of the following statements are correct with respect to government initiatives for MSE in India? Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is incorrect. The Udyom registration portal launched in 2023 requires submission of PAN and Aadhaar along with fees and documents. This is incorrect. First of all, the Udyom was launched in July 2020 and it is paperless. There is no document or fees. It is a self-declaration which is sufficient. Statement number 2 is incorrect. That will give us C as the correct answer. Next, under the composite loan scheme of MSE entrepreneur, what is the maximum loan limit that can be sanctioned in a single window? What can be given? It is 1 crore in a single window. Next, which of the following statements about the TREDS are correct? That they buy loans. Statement number 1 is correct. They allow only the MSMEs can be the participants. Yes. Factoring units representing the confirmed obligations of the buyer and can be credited either to the buyer or the seller. Correct. See, MSE are the seller. They are called factoring. The buyers are the banks or the NBFCs. The NBFCs, commercial banks and the other RBI authorized can act as a seller. Yes. See, banks can, NBFCs can, and other financial institutions which are permitted to act as financer, they can. They cannot act as sellers. They can act as They can act as buyers. They cannot act as sellers. Seller तो MSME होगा. MSME is the seller only. They are buyers. They are buyers. Statement number 3 is incorrect. That will give us A as the correct answer. Which of the following statement about MSME are correct? One is correct, 2 is incorrect. The MSME ministry was set up in 1999. The act came in 2006. Third statement is correct, fourth is correct, fifth is also correct. That will give us C as the correct answer. C is the correct answer. Now we have the government sponsored scheme, the day NRLM, the day NULM, the self-help groups, the Pradhan Mantri, employment yojana, and Atal Bima Yojana, and zero balance account. All of these are covered here. In this unit, all of these are covered. Okay? There is a Mudra and PMEGP. Mudra May, you can take a loan up to 20 lakh rupees. This is the difference between Mudra and PMEGP. There is a quick recap of this unit. Next, question number 1. Question number 1 is on the screen. C is the correct answer. C. In first year, the drawing power is 6 times the existing corpus, or minimum 1 lakh, not 8 times. Not 8 times. Statement number 1 is incorrect. Statement number 2 is again incorrect. See, it can go above 6 lakhs. Not anything, nothing is exact. Above 6 lakhs. Statement number 3 is correct. Statement number 4 is correct. Statement number 5 is correct. That will give us C as the correct answer. Next question. Who guarantees the minimum monthly pension under the PAPY? It is the central government. Consider the following statements regarding day NULM. Day NULM. City livelihood centers with day NLM provides marketing and packaging supports to self-help groups with no involvement in legal production service. This is incorrect. Their role is not limited to marketing and packaging. Statement number 2 is incorrect. 3 is correct. That will give us C as the correct answer. Next. Which of the following statements are correct regarding PMEGP? PMEGP was introduced in 2008 as a credit-linked subsidy which merged PMRY and REGP, Rural Employment Generation Program. Second statement is incorrect. Only new units are eligible for financial assistance. No. While new units are eligible, existing units are also eligible for upgradation. New and upgraded, we give provisions for both. Statement number 3 is correct. Statement number 4 is correct. Statement number 5 is not correct. Statement number 5 is not correct. The limit is 50 lakh. 5 is incorrect. Statement number 2 and 5 are incorrect. That will give us A as the correct answer. What is the maximum proportion of the working capital allowed under PMEGP for manufacturing units? It is 40%. Which of the following are correct under PMSBY? Rupees 20. Others are correct. That will give us A as the correct answer. Question number 6. Which of the following are correct? Mudra loan can be availed for both income generation and personal consumption. No, it is always for income generation, not for personal consumption. not for personal consumption. And there is a limit of Tarun plus 10 lakh to 20 lakh. 1 is correct, 2 is not correct, 2 is not correct, others are correct. That will give us C as the correct answer. Next, under the PMEGP online process, what is the minimum score required? What is the minimum score required? It is 60 out of 100. There is a test, right? Next, consider the following statements regarding day NRLM. Statement number 1 is incorrect. Participant identified as poor ensures that only government official identify the poor based on the SEC data without community involvement. It is a community based identification. ऐसे थोड़ी ना हो जाएगा कि आप poor किसी को भी define कर दोगे. Statement number 1 is incorrect. Others are correct. That will give us B as the correct answer. Question number 9. Question number 9. See, for accidents, it is 2 lakhs. It is 2 lakhs. Statement number 1 is incorrect. The moment 1 gets incorrect, we eliminate B and D. 2, 3 and 5 are common. Let's see 4. A minor with PMJDY account can also avail the overdraft facilities. Can avail the overdraft facilities. Can he? No, he cannot. E cannot. Minor is not eligible for PMJDY. A is the correct answer. Next, we have unit 41. We have unit 41, self-help groups. Self-help groups. What are the self-help groups? They are defined here. What is the linkage program? Please read this. Which of the following statements are correct? Self-help groups aims at economic empowerment only and do not focus on social development. This is incorrect. The basic target is social development. Statement number 1 is incorrect. 2 and 3 are correct. B is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. Next, which of the following statements about the rule governing the formation and membership of SHGs are not correct? What are not correct? See, APL members cannot be the office bearers. Statement number 1 is incorrect. Statement number 1 is incorrect. That will give us B as the correct answer. What? We have to tell what is not correct. Sorry. Next, a self-help group ideally consists of 10 to 20 members. Exceptionally in difficult areas, yes. In exceptionally difficult areas, it is 5. A person can be a member of more than one self-help group. No. One member of a family can be one member of a family can be a member of one self-help group, and there can be nobody else in that self-help group from the same family, and you cannot be a member of more than one self-help group. Statement number 1 and 3 are incorrect. That will give us C as the correct answer. Next, which of the following statements are correct? SHGs must be registered to open a savings bank account with the bank. It is not necessary. You can be a registered or an unregistered one. Statement number 1 is incorrect. Banks can offer a savings to loan ratio up to 1:4, whichever is matured. Yes. Banks are allowed to charge inspection fees on loan of 25,000 or less. No. No inspection fees for loans up to 25,000. No collaterals for that amount as well. Statement number 1 and 3 are incorrect. 2 is correct. A is the correct answer. Next, consider the following regarding self-help groups. Self-help groups helps in mobilizing individual resources for collective development. Yes. Self-help group provides a platform for identifying problems, analyzing them, and finding solution. Yes. Self-help group eliminates the need of saving among the rural. This is incorrect. 3 is incorrect. That will give us A as the correct answer. Next, which of the following statement are correct? Minimum is 10. See, no, minimum is not 10. In the special areas, it can be 5. Statement number 1 is incorrect. A person can be a member of more than one self-help group. No, he cannot be. Statement number 2 is incorrect. That will give us 3, 4, 5 as correct. C is the correct answer. Next, which of the following statement regarding self-help groups and their linkage program are correct? Self-help groups maintain complex and detailed records. No, they do not. Savings banks account with banks with registered or non-registered. Correct. Banks can sanction loan to savings to loan ratio 1:1 or 1:4. Yes, correct. No service or processing charges for loans up to 25,000. Above 25,000 there can be. 4th is incorrect. Banks are required to internalize the SHG linkage projects. Yes, they are. 2, 3, 5 are correct. A is the correct answer. Now we have module C with us. We have module C with us. See, we have completed till module B. Till module B, 70 marks are there. If anybody has any doubt in module B, please let me know in the chat section. Please let me know in the chat section. If anybody wants to ask anything regarding any part of module A or B, please let me know in the chat section. Yes, Lakshmi ji, what is your question and clarification? What do you want to ask? If anybody wants to ask any question in module A or B, please write that in the chat section. Because now we'll be starting with module C. Module C has 9 units and module D just has 5 units. Today the target is that we complete till unit 43. Okay? 43 will complete till unit 43, till unit 44, and the remaining units will be completed tomorrow. We'll be done with our course tomorrow. All the MCQs will be done with by tomorrow. Okay? Let's start with module C. First unit, that is unit 42. Essentials of bank computers. In this, we have talked about LANs, WANs, and an introduction of CBS game. There is a standalone computer and multi-user computer. Okay? There was a development. So what happened was, initially what was there was, the computer system got introduced. Okay? How the computer system got introduced? How computers came into effect in the banking? And what was the growth? How the growth happened? पहले single computer होता था. Everybody used to work in their own aspects. There was no connection. Then connection came. We linked one computer with another. Now every computer is linked with one another. There is a central base system in which all the data is. So now without computer there is no banking. Without internet, without computers there is no banking. That is why unit module C talks about computerizations and the topics of computers. This is a little bit mugging up unit. Okay, you have to mug up a little bit of things here because there are technical terminologies here which I have already explained to you. If you have any doubt, you can write that in the chat section. Let's attempt the question. Question number 1 is on the screen. Allow organizations. What are organizations? Give me a second. there is a mistake here. It is data lake dash होगा यहाँ पे. What allows organization to store large amount of structured and unstructured data and immediately makes it available for real time analytics, data science and machine learning. The answer is data lake. Data lake. Next question. Which of the following statements regarding the CBS are correct? CBS centralizes all branches operations and maintain a single centralized database, not a separate one. Not a separate one. Statement number 1 is incorrect. The moment 1 gets incorrect, we eliminate B and C. Statement number 2 is correct. CBS does not require individual servers at each branch, which is a benefit in terms of cost and maintenance. Statement number 3 is correct. Statement number 4 is correct. Statement number 5 is not correct. CBS actually promotes standardization through a single version of branch automation software, which enables quickly and updates across the branch with speed. Statement number 5 is incorrect. 1 and 5 are correct. That will give us A as the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following best describes a brownout in the context of UPS system? Brownout. Brownout refers to a voltage droppage. Okay? It refers to a voltage drop. A temporary voltage drop. Consider the following statements regarding wide area network, WAN. What are correct regarding WAN? The modem in a WAN converts analog signals to digital at transmitting end and digital to analog at the receiving end. Modem at the transmitting end converts digital to analog and at the receiving end converts from analog to digital. This is opposite. The statement is opposite. Statement number 1 and 2 are correct. Reverse will be correct of statement number 3. A is the correct answer. Next, which of the following topologies are most suitable? Even ease of setup and minimal cabling is required. Star में there was one head. इसमें अगर कुछ गड़बड़ हुई, if there is a mistake here, every power will get shut down. In bus, everybody is linked individually. In a tree, there is one system, and everyone is linked to that. And what is the most suitable one? It is the bus topology, which is the most suitable one, because if one gets erupted, others won't get affected. Next, consider the following statements regarding the use of data warehousing and data mining in financial services. Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is correct. Statement number 3 is not correct. Data mining is extensively used to stock portfolios, management and customer segments. Okay? Statement number 3 is incorrect. They cannot be applied. They can be applied. इसीलिए तो काम करते हैं हम. This is the work. Statement number 3 is incorrect. That will make us A as the correct answer. Now, which of the following is the correct statement regarding computerization? This is about the how computerization came actually. The history. The first Rangarajan Committee report on branch mechanization was submitted in 1984. Yes, it was. Second statement is also correct. And third statement is also correct. That will give us D as the correct answer. We have the next unit, that is operational aspects of CBC. Important unit है ये. It talks about CBC. It talks about EODs. What are the duties at the end of the day? What are the duties of the beginning of the day? What are the logging races? Basically the whole of CBS. This is an important unit. A lot of questions interlinked from here will come. Consider the following statements regarding the role and responsibilities of bank under core banking solutions in the context of RBI guidelines on the cyber security and IT control. RBI banks are required to have a documented control over various e-banking and internet banking products along with various processes for manual handling of the key transactions. Yes. Statement number 2. As per RBI guidelines, banks must conduct a system audit by a firm for chartered accountants to ensure that authorized payment system operates in safe, secure and efficient manner. Yes. The scope of the system audit is limited to evaluating compliance with KYC and AML procedure only. This is not just for KYC and AML. This is for central data access, disaster recovery, critical application, hardware management. There are a lot of things under CBS. Next. Consider the following statements regarding logical access control in bank. Statement number 1 is correct. Access should follow the principle of least privilege. Statement number 2 is correct. File maintenance is a separate access right, restricted to minimum number of people with proper approval and review. Statement number 3 is incorrect. Modem password should be changed periodically so that there is no breach happening. Next, consider the following statements regarding CBS. Banks are required to have documented control for various e-banking and internet-based banking products along with process for various handlings. Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is correct. Statement number 3 is not correct. Right? The scope is not for just KYC. Next, CBS are true. What are true? CBS merged communication technology and information technology. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Bank branches are connected with central server through wireless internet only. No, they are connected through lease lines by 3Gs, 4Gs, VSATs, MPLS. They are not just wireless. Statement number 2 is incorrect. Core banking software example is Finkel was for invoices, BANCS for TACS, and FixCube for Oracle. Yes, you have to learn this. 1 and 3 are correct. That will give us B as a correct answer. Next, which of the following statement regarding CBS are correct? Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is not correct. CBS actually makes check clearing faster. It is not slower. Statement number 2 is incorrect. Statement number 3 is correct. Statement number 4 is again incorrect. CBS supports CRM. CBS supports CRM. 1, 3, 5 are correct. A is the correct answer. Which of the following are true regarding cash flow of transaction in CBS? Statement number 1 is true. Statement number 2 is true. Statement number 3 is not true. Non-financial transactions like balance inquiries, stock updates, they requires validation from the central database. They require updates. Statement number 4 is correct. Statement number 5 is not correct. Transaction initiated by third-party trustees vendors do not require validation against the product level parameter. Okay? Transaction from third parties require validation. There is nobody else. See, everything in the banking is secure. There is every process authentication at every moment we need. Okay? So statement number 5 is also incorrect. That will give us 1, 2, 4 as correct. A is the correct answer. What is EOD and BOD? End of the day and beginning of the day transactions. This is an important point. A good question. BOD operations can be performed without completion of EOD. No, they cannot be. End of the day needs to be completed to start beginning of the day. Second, salary process is part of BOD. Yes, it is. EOD includes generating reports, backups, and other critical tasks. Yes, it does. Transaction numbers are assigned during EODs, not BODs. So statement number 4 is incorrect. EODs involve securing the server rooms and locking it with the authorized access. Yes, right. BOD operations rely on business days as per branch calendars. So statement number 1 and 4 are incorrect. That will give us D as the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following statements are correct about password control? Password must be minimum 12 letters in length and should contain uppercase and lowercase both. Yes. Yes. But it is not for 12. It is for 8. Uppercase, lowercase both. But 8. Same password can be used after a certain period if needed. No, we do not allow same passwords. Multi-users and multi-factor authentication should be enforced for certain critical modules. Yes. The critical operational system password should be kept under dual control. Yes. Branch should be stored in plain text format for ease of access. No. Passwords should always be encrypted. They should never be plain. Why? So that they cannot be hacked easily. That will give us 2, 3 and 2 is incorrect, right? 2 is incorrect. 2, 3 and 4 are correct. That will give us D as the correct answer. Now we have unit 44. It talks about different types of ATMs. The white label, the brown label, the kiosks, the credit cards, the debit cards, the payments, the PPIs. It is again a good unit. Alternate delivery channels. This is the difference between white label ATM and the brown label ATM. These are the technologies that were used for the cash infrastructure. First question, question number 1. Which of the following matches the correct ATM model? Network ATM allow card use across all ATMs. Consider the following statements about mobile wallet. Mobile wallet in India. Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is correct. Statement number 3 is not correct. Mobile wallets have a limit on maximum amount. It is around 1 lakh. Okay? It is around 1 lakh. Third statement is incorrect. A is the correct answer. A fintech company, PayWave, is a non-bank PPI issuer. It offers a wallet product called WaveMax, which is issued only after completing the full KYC on the holder via video-based cluster identification process, that is VCIP. A customer, Mr. Arjun, has opened a WaveMax wallet with the following activities planned for first month. Load 1,80,000 from his verified savings bank. Transfer 1,80,000 in one go to his brother's pre-registered bank account. Withdraw 80,000 in cash from various POS devices in the same month. Purchase goods worth 1,50,000 using the wallet. Request closure of the wallet after 2 months, transferring the remaining balance to his pre-registered bank account. Which of the following are correct? PayWave can issue WaveMax only after completing KYC. After completing KYC, yes. The one-time transfer of 1,80,000 to a pre-registered beneficiary is permissible. Actually, the amount allowed is 2 lakh rupees. So it is allowed, yes. Arjun can withdraw 8,000 from POS in a month, violates the limit. See, for a non-bank PPI, cash withdrawal is 2,000. Okay, and overall monthly allowed is 10,000. So he is just withdrawing 8,000. At a time 2,000, maximum 10,000. He has just withdrawn 8,000. So it is not violating. Statement number 3 is incorrect. Statement number 4 is correct. 2 lakhs are the cap. And statement number 5 is correct. That will give us 1245. B is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. What is the maximum distance with the NFC based contactless cards operated? वो जो आजकल सिग्नल वाले कार्ड नहीं चल रहे, it is talking about that. Near field communication, a card with, this is a card, here there is a wave. Okay, they are talking about that. So it is 10 centimeters. Next, Bank X wants to launch a new mobile banking services that allows domestic fund transfer using UPI, utility bill payment, cross-border outward remittance, and mobile recharge. Under RBI mobile guidelines, which of the combination of the services permitted without violating rules? All except utility bill, except cross-border transfers are correct. All cross-border outward remittance are not correct. Is not correct. This everything except 3 is correct. A is the right answer. Last question. No, there is one more question after this. Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is correct. Statement number 3 is not correct. ATM pin can only have numeric digits, no letters. ATM kiosk में letters नहीं होते. 3 and 4 are correct. 3 is incorrect. 4 and 5 are correct. That will give us A as the correct answer. Last question. End-to-end encryption is mandatory for all transactions except those up to. For what we do not need end-to-end encryption? Up to 5,000 we do not need end-to-end encryption. C is the correct answer. That is it for today. We have completed till unit 44. If anybody has any doubt, please let me know in the chat section. If anybody wants to ask anything, please let me know in the chat section. Thank you so much for attending the class. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time and we'll be completing our course then.